What is up, everybody? It is a few days later, 2 days later to be precise. Aaron has primed the CRX, given it a few days to breathe, and we are down here to block it down. Everyone thinks it's real easy to spray a car, but there's not. There's a good few steps in it. So let's have a look at the CRX and I'll explain what is to happen next. So the CRX is fully primed. It's like a grey primer because the colour he's doing over the car, over the primer, is kind of a darkish colour. So if you do a too of a bright primer, it won't show up as well. So what needs to happen is this whole car now needs to be rubbed down. It needs to be blocked to make sure that there's no imperfections in the primer, because if there's an imperfection in the primer, like so, tiny, it looks like a tiny little run, but it's just a ripple in the primer. So that just needs to be sanded out, wet sanded till it's smooth, because if you don't do that, you'll see that in the paint. You don't want to see that in the paint. If you're going to do a paint job, prep is key. Prep is 99% of the work for a good respray. You can have the best painter in the world just painting your car, and you prep it, and the prep is shit. They'll paint it. They're paid to paint. They're not paid to prep. But if you send your car in for a full respray like this to get a prime and stuff, obviously they'll do it. The blocking is a big part of it. Now, most of the panels look fairly straight. There's a few bits and pieces on some of the panels around the edges. You'll see like little tiny lumps here. They all get wet sanded out. They will be completely gone. But the car, I'm not messing. Looking at it from here, I've walked around it for a few minutes. I've looked at it and it's straight. There's like one little line here. There's a little ripple there. There's nothing on the back. I didn't see any blemishes on the back. That boot lid is perfect, immaculate. All around the top, around it, it's just perfect. I haven't seen one panel. He did do a repair on that quarter panel around there and it's perfect. You can't even see it. It was only a little tiny ripple in the panel and a dent, like a tiny dent, but he done the whole quarter panel. Even the door handles look perfect. Like everything just came out really nice. The primer laid down well. This is like, that just needs to be touched up a little bit, and that will be done before it gets painted. But literally that's the worst thing I've seen on the car. It must have just chipped off. You must have been looking at it. But all around every edge, the wings, the bumpers, everything is perfect. What needs to happen now is we're going to wet sand the whole car with 1500 grit, then 2000 grit. And then if Aaron's picky, if he sees any kind of imperfections, any lines or swirls, he will do it with 3000. Just waiting on Aaron to come down with a connection for the hose, because unfortunately we don't actually have a hose down here. We just have a tap. So I might actually cut this and actually put a tap fitting on it, just to have one here, or take this off and actually put a proper tap fitting on it. But Aaron's on his way down now with the hose connection so we can spray the car, literally soak the car. That's what we're going to do. Wet the car and wet sand it and keep the hose on it, just to keep it wet, because if you're wet sanding, it has to be wet. If it goes dry, you'll burn through the primer and you'll have to redo it. So while Aaron's off doing that, I'm going to just tidy up all around the car just to make the floor nice and clean, because the last thing you want is dust in the paint. We do wet the floor. The best thing to do if you are spraying your own car, top tip, if it's concrete, wet the floor. Even if it's not concrete, grass, wet the grass, because last thing you want is you're walking around, you're spraying air, and dust will rise and it will go all over the panel and it will be destroyed. You will need to repaint it. So what Aaron does is we'll keep the floor clean, then we'll wet it and there'll be no dust and it'll be perfect. So I'm just going to whack this floor out of it, get it all nice and neat and clean for him, and when he gets down we'll be ready to sand and then paint. So that's just one bit of the mess done. Just moved everything over just so I could sweep this area, just because the whole floor will be getting wet, so I just want to make sure he gets all the dust. So I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff out of the way so I can sweep. So it's going to be clean in 3, 2, 1. Now, that's all the heavy stuff gone from this side. So what I can do now, concentrate on just this here, get all this away. That seat can be moved back, all the stuff underneath it in the box and stuff. All the tools away in the drawer. So another click clean up, no point in watching me clean. So another 3, 2, 1. And like that, magic, it is done. So now it's just this side of the car, just to tidy up. Put that other seat over in the corner, sweep all this out, get rid of all the crap, hoover up the floor, and then that's done. So in the click of a finger again, and boom, just like that. All cleaned up, just a few bits of rubbish to pick up. Aaron's just had to pulling up. We're gonna move that's here, get the CRX out and power wash this. So the CRX is sanded down, it's just the bumpers to do. We done it wet with, what grit sandpaper was that? 600 wet. Yeah, me and me 2000. That's for polishing, but 600 grit. Did you do side skirts?
No, that's come on.
Alright, cool. So back bumper to do and front bumper to do. So gonna whack that out and then get it back inside. So I finished up sanding the CRX there, and Gobshite over here is singing very good, very nice, hello sexy banana. And he holding this. He's seriously spraying a pink. Pink.
Told you.
Pink. Oh, right.
More
Ending the video now. No point in watching because I'm not watching that thing getting sprayed pink. So that's it for now. We're just going to get the CRX in. Floor is all swept, place is all clean, ready for the car to get sprayed pink. Pink, pink, look, pink. He's actually spraying a pink. What a weirdo. That's it, CRX is all getting clean there. I'm gonna call it a night. Make sure you come back for the next episode where the CRX will be getting painted. So it's been real. Don't forget, be dedicated guys on builds like this, the Civic, the Mini, and don't forget your own project. Make sure you get them done, be dedicated to them. See you in the next video where this is getting painted. Soupy pink. Peace out.